There was so many guys like Keyshawn Butte. I don't know if he says his name Butte or
It's booty.
Butte or is
It's
Booty.
booty.
It's-
Since,
Yo,
since you skipping around, what
when
is
you throw
up
your
with your
accent,
undying love for Kayshawn booty? What's up with your? I know. Us as black men love the booty, but this is a different kind of booty you have a love for.
Keyshawn, man, that's the thing. This is why people in the community don't like me too much, man, because it's hard to it's hard to debate with me because I go off what I see, and and you can't tell me when you watch him he's a bad player. Like you can't tell me when you watch him that he's not a good player, right? So I think this past year it was a bunch of shit going on that team with him, coaching staff, and I just really think he didn't want to be there, right? There was a lot of talk about him entering the portal
He didn't
in
want to be
LSU.
there. He was trying to come back for another year. They didn't
No, I'm
want him.
saying during the season he knew it was gonna hurt his draft because of the scandal, so he tried to come back, give it some time to ball over, and they was basically just like, to your point, right? But at the end of the day, when you look at everything outside of last year, he's a phenomenal player, right? And the only thing we're looking at is when we look at his 4.5, I'm telling you, like if Jordan Addison, because Jordan Addison ran like 4.49 or something like that, like literally a hundredth of a millisecond faster. But if he was 200 pounds or 195 pounds, like Booty, like he'd probably be going a lot sooner. Like there's this
You're looking at
debate.
the 4 or 5, but tell me about the
It's
29
vertical.
vertical jump and the
I don't
118
care.
broad.
I don't care. I don't care.
That goes into his athleticism. It's just not 40. It's just not 40
No,
time. It goes
no,
into
no.
athleticism too.
Yeah, but um, I don't see a lot of players like just jumping straight up in a vertical jump, or or doing a broad jump, right? And like, there's more of a chance a guy has to turn on the burners for 20 yards, not 40, but for 20 yards, than he would jumping straight up or doing a broad jump. I'm not talking about his. And athleticism matters. Don't get me wrong, but it shouldn't matter. Like the combine of it shouldn't matter more than what the guy showed you, right? Like, so it really just came down to, okay, well, is he a good player and his landing spot in the draft capital? And none of that is great. But the thing is, I love the Patriots landing spot for him because it's so bad.
I feel like you love the Patriots.
I love the
That's one of the
Patriots
reasons
spots.
I'm off on him.
No, but
I might have gave him a chance if he went anywhere else.
the thing, no, here's the thing.
Ravens and the Patriots. I don't want any wide receivers there. I don't want you.
So, so here's the thing. I think we're gonna find out quick. I think the Patriots are gonna find out quick. Patriots are good at that. Like they're gonna like they don't they have zero tolerance for bullshit. Right? They'll give you a shot if you shape up, if you get in line and you do your job, because that's the mantra. Do your job. If you get in line and you do your job, you got a future there. But if you don't, they're gonna get rid of you quick, fast, in a hurry. So that's why I like the landing spot there, because all the questions about Kayshawn outside of football are probably gonna get answered quickly. Right. So I know if I need to cut bait or if I can hang on to him. And when you look at all the receivers that are there, no one's super excited about Juju. No one's super excited about Tyquan. Bourne is old. Devontae Parker is old. If I'm thinking like, okay, and again in the 3 year outlook, could I see him beating Tyquan Thornton? Yeah. In year two. Could I see him beating Juju Smith? Yeah. Why not? Like, so I'm just looking for pathways, and if I got to spend a fourth round pick for that dart throw, yeah, hell yeah. So,
Well, on Twitter you was talking about spending the third round pick. I just
well, I do that too.
want to let you know you was saying third round.
I'm gonna do that too because who's
But
coming after him?
so before I go go on my rant about Keyshawn Boutte, even though I do have a rookie profile up on already on him. But you mentioned some players, and so I need you to rank these players that you mentioned. You know, most of them you said you want before you want Boutte over them. I want you to rank these players and
Oh
put them. You
goodness.
know who you got. How many players is it? It's a 6 players. So Rashid Rice, Tank Dell, Cedric Tillman, Taylor Scott, Jaden Reed, and Booty. Put those
Yo,
players. Rank those players.
you can't say booty like that and expect me to answer the question for real.
I mean, that's his
All right.
name. That's what I heard him say was pronounced Booty.
Nah. When you
I'm
lay the
telling you,
accent
he
on
used
it
to
and the
say
emphasis,
Booty, and I heard it was Booty.
yeah. But when you say Tank Dell, you say Tank Dell. When you say Kayshawn Beauty, Butte. Like you throw some extra spice on it. I'm hip. I'm on to you. All right. So right off the bat, Tank Dell is gonna be last,
Okay, we
right?
all right. Number six.
Uh, Jaden Reed, he's gonna be first.
At least you got some sense. Let's go.
um, this is where it gets tough, right? Because I'm looking at Tillman and Tyler Scott. I think Tillman's a better talent, but I think Tyler Scott has an easier path to being the wide receiver 2 on his team than Tillman does. But it's really not that much of a difference. Because again, the 3-year outlook, do I see Amari Cooper on the Browns in 3 years? No, but that doesn't mean the Browns don't invest in another, like a first round pick and a wide receiver within the next 3 years and keep him or re-sign Elijah Moore. And for the same thing, and that's the way I feel with the Bears. Like they spent a high second round pick on Chase Claypool. If they don't re-sign him, they should be fired. So I think Tyler Scott could be better than Chase Claypool. So I know he'll get some run there at least. But I'm just not super sure. I'm not super sure Tillman would beat out Elijah Moore.
Hold up,
And
Jay. Pause. I threw in Jaden Reed just to throw you off, but all the rest of these players are the players you named. And when you was making your case for Keyshawn Boutte, you say, "Do you want any of these players over Boutte? I'll take Boutte over him." Now, I'm not hearing Boutte as number 2. Boutte should be number 2.
Booty should be number 2.
For you mentioned these players in your tweet. Remember the tweet? You know where you want to
Yeah,
you want
right.
to put Fusu on there talking about this my process.
No. Well, I don't remember that, but I'm gonna take your role for it. It was really just about Rasheed
And then we
Rice.
had an argument about Rashid Rice and Boutte.
It was
We had
really
an
about
argument
Rasheed
about that.
Rice. Yes, but that whole conversation was really about Rasheed Rice. Rasheed Rice versus Booty.
So when
Now
do
I
we need
could
to check in? When do we need to check in for Rice versus Boutte? When do I need to put that on my calendar for? When do we
we
need to
can do it
check
right
in?
now. We can do it
No,
right now.
no.
I thought that's what this was
How
about.
how far down the line do you want me to put in my calendar for me to check in with you? That's what I'm asking you.
Year 3. So it's 2023,
Year three.
2026.
Jesus. All right. Year 3. And you know I ain't gonna forget it, right? You know.
Go ahead, take your time.
Matter of
Put it
fact,
in
I
there,
might
brother.
put it yearly. I would just put eyes every time. Like, yeah, you still ain't there.
But I just think Kayshawn is a better receiver. That's it. He's just a better
Hey,
wide
and
receiver.
guess what? Totally understand that. Understand why you feel that way. For me, like I told you, totally about draft capital. Once the man got second round draft capital, it was over. And one got 6. It's not 4. It's not round 4. It's 6th round. Once he got 6th round, went in the 6th round, that man went in the second, and he went to a better situation, a better offense, better quarterback. It's not even a question. It's just easy
Wait.
choice.
Okay. Um, I think Rasheed Rice is going at the end of second rounds, right? And
Yeah, I just had a draft today. He might have went higher than that. He might have went at
this,
the what is man went?
but
He might have
that's
went mid second. He might have went mid
that's
second.
my point. Like this, I'd rather get Kayshawn at the end of the third, at the turn of the third and fourth round, than Rice at the second.
Yeah.
It's just not adding up to me,
Oh no. Well,
right? So it's not necessarily about like who do I know for
at
sure is
the
going to be the better
cost,
player.
you
Yeah, it's
like
like at cost.
Boutte at the cost.
Right, right. Now I like Marvin Mims better than both of them. That's my wide receiver too.
Well, that's not even the question. I don't even, like I
Right,
said, he was my wide receiver
but
5. So
a lot of folks are picking Rasheed Rice over Marvin Mims because of everything you just said, right? Because of draft
those are
capital, because of the
rookies.
situation, and it's just like
Because
I
once
don't.
Mims got second round, once he went in the second round, it was on and popping. It was on and
Yeah,
popping.
and they traded up for him.
So
The Broncos traded up because he would have fell to the third round. But they traded up to get him. So maybe he would. Maybe he is. Maybe the NFL does believe he's a third round player. But it's just like maybe the Broncos. I hate when people do that too. They'll say, "Oh, well, the NFL thinks this guy is a second round talent." No,
well, I don't care
Kansas
about
City,
that when people say
Kansas
all that.
City,
I don't care.
Kansas
Guess
City
what?
thought he was a
If you
second round
felt he
talent,
was
not the
there, you would have
NFL.
drafted him that round. I don't care about what you had him graded as and all this bullshit. If y'all felt he was there, you would have drafted him there. In the
No, I'm
story.
talking about us. I'm talking about us, not me and you, but just like the dynasty community or the fantasy football community. They like to say, "Oh, well, the NFL thinks that Rasheed Rice is a second round, a player worth the second round draft capital or second round talent." It's like, no, that's not necessarily the case. Kansas City believes that, not the
Yeah.
NFL. Right?
So
You
this
just need
draft
one
I
team.
just went in, Kansas City. I don't know what be up with their draft picks. I mean, as soon as I seen Rice pick, I said Patrick Mahomes had something to do with that bullshit. Same way he had something to do with CEH. He had something
Right.
to do with that bullshit instead of
And
leaving it
that's
up to the general manager.
that's another reason why we should be off
Oh,
Rasheed
I'm
Rice because
off. I just said I would rather Rice than I would bet on Rice more than I bet on Boutte. It's not a question.
right.
I'm off both of them.
Hmm.
I
Okay.
mean, I
Okay.
would take Rice if he dropped to me at some ridiculous price, like maybe at the
Like the three,
mid
four.
third, which he'll
Yeah.
never
Like
do. He'll never
right.
get there. So I'll never
Right.
own any of them. That's the problem. I'll never own any of them. But
And I think his pathway to playing time is just as muddy as Kayshawn's.
I'm not gonna say
Like
that. I'm
you can
not gonna
say
say
what you want. You can say what you want about Tony, but he's probably the most talented wide receiver on that team.
oh,
Probably.
that's not a question. I
Right.
told you
Right.
that I guarantee I'm willing to bet that Rice played more games than Tony this year. That's the bet I'm willing to make. The talent's not a question.
All right. All right. But then the Chiefs like to keep a speedy deep threat on the field. And I don't think that's Tony for them. I think that's MVS
Right.
or Justin Watson. So Justin Watson and MVS don't have to be on the field at the same time, but it's going to be MVS or Justin Watson. So we're going to say it's Tony, MVS, and then are we saying that Rice is going to jump Sky Moore?
Oh no, I think just like Scott Moore, he gonna sit his behind down and have to learn the system. I don't
Right.
think they could force him to go out there. You know.
I don't think they're going to do that. So me and you on the same page about that. So it's just so where do we disagree? It sounds like we're in agreement.
No, I mean we was talking about Rice versus Boutte. That was our disagreement. Rice versus
Right, right.
Boutte.
And I think we cleared that up too because it wasn't
And
necessarily like there's more so it's not like, oh, this player is definitely gonna be a better fantasy asset. It's just like I like this player better at cost than this player.
so my rant on Boutte, where is he at? No, so I can't find this guy because it's not like I had him ranked low pre-draft. Oh, what he was drafted in the sixth. That's why I can't find him. But this is my post. This is my post list, post draft list. He way down there somewhere. There you go. Okay, so
Ooh, this is
He was
ugly.
drafted in the 4th round. I would be all for this guy, but it's like 6th round, like, and then you went to a shitty situation. But he got it's 5-star recruit. He gets yak, gets open, gets separation. I mean, he hitting all the notes
Everything.
for me. He hitting all the notes for me.
He's a good football player, man. Some dudes is good football players, and sometimes you gotta
What
take a shot on dudes that have been injured or had off the field issues. Because
I just
if they get those out the way, if they stay healthy and don't have any issues, they could be huge.
I do not draft anymore wide receiver. Like I might pick them up for the waiver wire. I do not draft wide receivers drafted in the 3rd round and down. I just don't do it anymore because
I
they
respect
become
that.
roster cloggers. They
I
become
respect
on
that.
they be sitting on your roster. You don't want to let them go. Then you get stuck with them and you hold them longer than you should. I don't like roster cloggers, and that's a lot of 3rd round, 4th round, 5th round wide receivers because they can't make it up the depth chart. You rarely ever have these guys go in there and kill it. People always like to say the exception. Well, what about this? What about that? What about the 500 people, other 500 people that didn't do shit? I don't want to hear
Right,
about no exceptions. It's just easy for
right.
me to bet on the ones with draft capital. That's all.
Listen, um, I 1,000% agree. 1,000% agree. But that just goes back to the conversation that we had. It's like, okay, well, at cost, when we're talking about the 4th round or that 3-4 turn, I gotta take my shot. And at that point, it's worth it. Like, cause like I said, who else do we have to draft there? Like, there's maybe Tillman, maybe Tyler Scott, and Tank Dell. And I think that their situations are just as muddy. And there's no way in hell I'm drafting Tank Dell. I draft Clayton Tune before I draft Tank Dell.
Well, if I had to rank them, I probably would put Reed, Rice, Tillman, Scott. What? Hold up, Scott. No, I probably would put Tank Dell, Scott, and Boutte. Probably would be my list. Probably would be my list.
So disappointing. So
And
wait,
you
so
already know why I put Reed and Rice first
you're right.
because they're
So
draft
yeah, but
capital, draft
Reed is a
capital.
dog though.
You know,
Reed
so
is a dog. Reed is a dog though. He's been a dog. So I'm okay with that. Regardless of draft capital, I would have been high on him. Now tell me why Dell is over Tyler Scott.
wasn't Tyler Scott drafted in what the
I think round 3. I don't remember
Hell
though.
no,
Let
it
me see.
wasn't round 3. It was not round 3. You know, that's why it was the end of round 4, the 31st pick of round 4. So I just like Tank Dell before the draft. And he was picked 3rd round at the beginning of the 3rd round, the 6th pick. Do I do I believe he's gonna do anything? I don't know. But
Wait, he's picked in the beginning of the 3rd round.
yes, the 6th pick is beginning of the 3rd round. And with Scott, what receiver is doing anything in the Bears? I could only bet on one wide receiver to do anything. I would bet on one wide receiver and one tight end, and he's going to be what wide receiver 3, 4. He would hope to get up to number 3. That means he ain't gonna do shit. He ain't gonna be shit. He ain't gonna do shit.
You're hilarious. So I'm a that's the thing, man. When I'm a believer in a talent, I try to figure out, okay, what's their pathway to making an impact. And Mooney's contract is up, Claypool's contract is up. If one of them gets hurt and Tyler Scott starts making some moves and starts like really contributing to this team, they're gonna let them go. They're gonna let them go into free agency. And he's going to be the sidekick to DJ Moore.
Guess what? I used to think just like you. I used to. But guess what I learned about the NFL? They're gonna break
Mm.
your heart every fucking draft. So just wait, just when they clear the room and you like,
No,
Tyler's got some room to breathe. Then they draft a wide receiver in the second fucking round. And guess what? He
wait,
back where he started.
No,
He back where he
no,
started.
no hearts are being broken, right? Because I got to choose between Tyler Scott and Tank Dell, and you can't tell me a better situation for Tank Dell. Like, what's his pathway? And he has less to overcome, but we just never seen it before.
You haven't seen what from Tank Dell?
We've never seen a player with his profile do well,
Oh,
not become
how
fantasy football viable. Never.
people said that, but you seen people with his profile. More of them guys be like special team type players. That's the thing. We'll see. We'll
I'm not even
see.
sure Tank could
I
do that.
watched him. I watched him cook players all day, and people made excuses for him. He was cooking players all day in the Senior Bowl practices, but people made excuse for it. I mean, but it is
What?
what it is. We'll see.
Wait, what excuses did they make?
That well, the wide receiver have the advantage, and he's too quick for them, and
Right.
it is all kind of excuses.
Those are true to a degree, but I think like if you keep him in the slot, like there's no way he's not getting open, right? Especially in that type of environment or setting. Listen, man, if you could find me someone who's 165 pounds
I'm telling you, I found two of them.
and
Wow.
runs and doesn't run a 4.3, right? Not in the 4.3 range. This is a high 4.4 player who's been successful. I shut up. I'm not even asking for, you know, give me a several list of players. Just find me one. Just
You
find me
said
one.
one.
Just one. And if you
Nah.
can't,
If
then
I
you got to
found one,
change
it
your
was
ranking.
someone that was successful for a few games. Is not had a successful career.
And I'm not even asking for a career, but just like give me top 25 in fantasy points in one
Well,
year.
I could go ahead and guarantee you, Tyler Scott is never going to be top 25 in fantasy points. I can go ahead and guarantee that right now. Never in his life. I can go ahead and guarantee you right now. Then, if that's the case, if you want to
Okay.
go that far, go ahead. Let's
Okay.
go ahead and guarantee it.
Okay.
So if that ever
What about
happened, you
what
come to
about
me and
what
say,
about
"Look at me
top?
now." But I'll
What
go
about
ahead and
top?
go ahead his whole career, and we ain't going off average. I'm talking about I need him to put up the points because I want him to, I want him to play at least 16 games. You come to me and say, he was just shy of being a wide receiver too.
Right. So what about top 36?
Might be a chance.
Right?
Look,
Because
it start getting shaky when you come to wide receiver three.
yeah, yeah,
I
and
just could confidently say he'll never be a wide receiver two. I can confidently say that. On
well,
the
I
Bears,
wouldn't even.
on the Bears, matter of fact, on the Bears, he'll never be a wide receiver 36. Unless
Okay.
they get
So
another OC, they gonna have to
okay, so
change
put this in your
everything at the Bears.
wager too, man. Right?
When you want to
I
check that,
see. Here's the thing. Do you think Justin Fields is a good passer?
huh?
Do you think Justin Fields is a good passer?
A good passer, he's straight.
He's
He's
straight,
straight.
right? He's straight for a guy that's very mobile and had one full season of starting. He's straight.
I like Justin Fields. I mean, don't get me.
Yeah,
I like him. I don't
Justin
trust that
Fields.
organization to save my life, but I like Justin Fields.
I would say that too, or I used to say that. I usually would say that, but they've just been making all the right moves, right? So they trade down, they get DJ Moore, they get future draft capital, they to a sucky team, right? They then they invest in the O line, then they get a running back to help take some of the pressure off, continue to take some of the pressure off. So they have Mooney, who I think we both think he's a good player, right? You think so? All right, he's a good
He
player.
okay. He okay.
Yeah. Who'd you say is better, Mooney or Claypool?
Mooney.
Okay, so
Claypool, he full of himself. He's a meathead.
he thinks he's saying the right thing. Well, he knows that. He knows he's not one of the best wide receivers in the game. Like he knows that.
When
He
somebody
has
say
multiple
that
guys
and
around him.
haven't done a damn thing, not a damn thing in the league. I mean, he did have a good rookie season. That's what it was.
Right.
I guess that must have went to his head, and he ain't done shit since. But
The thing about Claypool is for someone his size, he needs to be better at making contested catches. He's so bad at that. And I don't see it I don't see it changing. It just is what it is. But when we're really the point is the Bears traded for Claypool. They got Mooney. They invested in DJ Moore. They invested in the O line. Like they're literally doing everything that they possibly can to create an environment for Justin Fields to make the leap, right? And we've seen this so many times, right? So many times. A quarterback is a good receiver, a great receiver, and they look like a fucking superstar. And I'm not going to use Josh Allen as an example, but we've seen it over and over and over again. Um, and when you see what he did at Ohio State, he was one of the most prolific passers coming out of the draft that year. We should not be confident that he can't do it in Chicago. And the reason why I'm bringing up these talking points is because you're saying like they can't Tyler Skies would never be a wide receiver 36 in Chicago, and a lot of that is because, well, and tell me if I'm wrong. I think you're saying that because the passing volume. But what I'm saying is if he makes the leap, if Justin Fields makes the leap, they're going to throw a lot fucking more, a lot more.
It's just that I'm confident they'll draft another wide receiver before he do that. I mean, I told you I'm 100% confident in the top 25, 100%. You know,
Mhm.
36, it gets shaky, start get shaky, but I'll still bet against him. So I'll check back year 2 after Tyler Scott year 2. We will check back. Was he a top wide receiver 36? All
All
right.
right.
And by the way, somebody.
Now, this is in comparison to. Put this in your little note. This is in comparison to Tank Dell.
Oh,
So don't just say Tyler Scott.
let's
Say
say,
Tyler Scott
all right,
versus
we're
Tank
gonna
Dell.
put year 2. Check on Tank Dell. Matter of
Yeah,
fact, Tyler
Tyler
Scott
Scott versus
versus
my
Tank Dell.
man.
Also, we'll check on that too.
Right.
So on one of the Twitter posts, they was talking about Tank Dell, and it was like, how many successful NFL wide receivers, NFL players can you name that's below 170? Of course, the first one you come to mind is Devontae Smith.
Hmm.
But the two I named, it was
Heisman
like,
Trophy winner, first
huh?
round draft pick. Heisman Trophy winner, first round draft pick.
Oh yeah, he's
Devontae
free
Smith.
for me.
But
But I had named J.J. Nelson and DeMar Bird. You know, both of them have been productive. That's the two I was talking about. You know, now you might look at it like ha ha ha, but at the same time, you know, compared to the NFL player, they
Mr.
had a
Robinson,
successful career.
Mr. Robinson, we talking about fantasy football, right? So
I
I'm
mean, you never
saying
used DeMar Bird. You
no,
never had any
absolutely
games
not.
with J.J. Nelson. I didn't use
No,
both of them. You ain't
nah,
never had.
never.
You ain't never had to put them in a
Your
lineup.
your starting lineups are too fucking big. If you had to do that, like they're too big. You're paying start 15 or some shit like that. They're too big. Never.
Look,
JJ
it get
Nelson.
rough in the middle of the season when you trying to find 3 wide receivers. It get rough.
I already know, but not Damian Bird. Maybe JJ Nelson if you like laced with bye weeks and injuries, and he's got a good matchup. Like you have to have a perfect storm. But I don't necessarily think that's big. That's what I don't. Who is Tank Dell starting over
We'll find
in
out. We'll
Houston?
find out. Like I said, we checking back after year 2 on
Okay.
Tyler Scott and Tank Dell, but let's keep it moving. What are your thoughts on Will Levis before and after the draft? Was you a little Will Levis truther or not?
Poop. And that's keeping it. He shouldn't even been in a conversation.
People was mad at me where I had him rated, but it was like when I do my prospect grading, I don't put potential draft capital up in there. Like I'm trying not to
Yeah.
put potential draft capital. So when I was telling people, okay, he was my QB 10, I was telling them this
You're
is
just going
if
off of talent.
this is if everyone had the same draft capital, I would choose the other 9 people over him. That's what it was. I mean, as soon as he got second round draft capital, of course, okay, you QB4. Sure, sure. I really
He's
like
still
Hooker
not
over
QB
you,
four to me.
but I'll
Yeah,
give you
he's still not QB four to
QB4.
me. He's still not QB four to me. The thing about the draft capital and with quarterbacks why it matters more is because the team is going to find a way to play that guy. Right? If a quarterback is second on draft capital, they're going to find a way to play that guy. And the thing is, in Superflex, if you got a quarterback that's going to play, you got a starter. He's valuable. Point blank.
Hold on.
Period. He's
How
valuable.
how how are you gonna say he's not the quarterback for? How is that even possible? How could he not be the quarterback for? Explain that one to me.
I think Hooker's better.
I do too. But the
Yeah.
man went to the third round, and you're not gonna see him play this whole year.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see Levis play the whole year either. So we're really talking about year two for both of them.
They even they put the other boy out there. What you mean? They put that boy out here last year. Willis. I hope you wasn't
Yeah,
a Willis fan.
I don't want to talk about it, but but they put him in because of injury, right? I don't think like they have a plan. Put it this way, unless like they're doing terrible, like they're having, unless they're trying to tank in week 18, or Tannehill gets injured, he's not going to play. And I'm saying that
Now,
with
if
way
they're
too much
smart, they
confidence.
should try to tank. They
Yeah,
they halfway through the season, it was like, you know what, Tannehill, you're not cutting it. We're gonna throw Will Levis out there, and if Will Levis do better, then you throw Willis out there. Make sure you tank.
look, I'm about to say, if you really want to take, just throw Willis out there, just see what he got. You said he was second, he's a QB2, right? So go ahead, follow through on that. No, no, no. So I don't think it's good for teams to tank by putting in a bad quarterback because a bad quarter, and this is just real life football, in my opinion. A bad quarterback doesn't allow you to properly evaluate the talent you have on the field. Right? If you're a GM or a coach and you're going to be with that team long term, or you're planning for the future long term, every single game you're assessing who you want to invest in the next year. If you have a poor quarterback or if you have poor quarterback play, you really don't know what you got, what you're working with. So that's what I'm saying. Like if we're talking about week 18, week 17, fuck it, you already know. You have enough information on all those players, right? You went through 15, 16, 17 weeks of all those players. You have enough information to properly make your assessment and for understand if you want to bring them onto the team or keep them on or make an investment into the next year. So yeah, at that point, put in Willis, put in Levis. But I think that's the same case for Hooker. If it's week 17 or week 18, let's say they lock up the NFC North, the Lions, right? They first in NFC North and they can't improve their playoff situation. Why not play Hooker? It's the exact same situation, but in reverse. Like one team is really good,
Well,
and it's their path.
will he be ready to play by the end of the season?
I don't know. Like you can never tell with ACLs these days because some dudes come back in 6 months, some dudes come back in 9, some dudes 18. Right? If he comes back in January, that's over a year. Right? I think he got hurt in November. Right? So he plays week 17 or week 18. I think that's like late December or something like that. That's over a year. And he's a quarterback. So we're not expecting him to, utilize his knees like Tajay Spears would, right? And as a running
Well,
back.
but that's his game. He ran a lot. That's his game.
Yeah, but I don't think he relied on that. Like when you watch him play, like this is an option for him. But if he's just come in week 17, week 18, and again, this is like over a year to recover, right? So if he's doing what he needs to do in terms of his physical therapy, I don't want to say he should be ready, but we should we should be confident in saying that it's he could very well be ready. You know, just as ready as Levis would be, in my opinion. So that's if you're gonna ask me, what do I have Hooker over Levis? Because I think both of them don't play significant snaps in year one outside of um, the tanking situation or one of the teams doing really good and them only getting 1 or 2 week starts at the end of the year or an injury. Then we go into the next year. I'm not so sure. Um, Jared Goff should still be there, I think. But if they do poorly, they could trade him. I don't see them doing poorly though. Now, just like you said with Tyler Scott, the Bears are probably more than likely going to spend higher draft capital on another wide receiver. What's stopping Tennessee from, if they do that poorly, what's stopping them from drafting Drake May? It's not fucking
Well,
Will Levis.
they definitely got to do poorly then in this case. I don't, that they some kind of way. Like I said, this is a team that was just 2 years ago removed from being the number one seed. Some kind of way they win games. I don't understand it, but some kind of way they find a way to win games. If
That's true.
if they got to make a effort
It's
to
true.
tank, if that's their goal.
All right, you probably convinced me.
I convince you
I
what?
probably should. Yeah, I probably should have Levis as the QB4.
I'm just look. It just go off of draft capital to me. I mean, I'm not drafting any of Will Levis. I've been saying I refuse to have him on my team. He would have to fall to me. Like when I say I would have to be in a dire quarterback situation, it just have to be dire for me to pick him, and he just fall to me at the right spot because I don't want any part of him. But
Mm-hmm.
so, how many rookie drafts you done so far, man?
Let me check. I can't. Probably like
I did
six.
about 15 so far.
Probably like six. Wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.
So, which player are you getting a lot of?
You already know. Marvin Mims.
Marvin Mills, where you been
I'm
picking him
I'm
at?
I'm I'm reaching for him. I'm
You
trading up for
reaching?
him. Yeah,
Oh.
absolutely. Let me this last draft. This is embarrassing, but I don't care because I got that much. He's such a good player, bro. I just don't understand. And let me hold on. I don't want to lie to you. I want to give you it's my most recent one. Draft results. The 112.
Whoo.
The
Do you
112.
play in tight end premium leagues?
Mm-hmm.
I can't do it then. Like the leagues I play in though, most of the leagues I play in is 2 point premium for tight
Ooh,
ends. Can't do it. Can't
ooh.
ever pick Mims over all these wide receivers with this kind of draft capital. Can't do it.
Yeah, not 2 points. No, especially no, that don't for sure. I get that. But for like a 1 point side a bonus on the receptions for tight end premium, no, I'm
Hold
still
up, but
going with
one point
Mims.
is 2 points.
Well, I was just okay. So you're saying PPR
Yeah,
plus the
two
one
two
point.
2 point PPR for the
Oh,
tight
I
ends,
thought you was
which is
okay.
all the
I thought
safe
you
leagues. Which
right,
is
right,
every safe league you be in is gonna be two. You get 2 points per reception.
right,
I gotta
for
pick
sure.
the tight ends over 'em. Got
Mm-mm.
it. And
I
I
just
like Mills. I just can't. I gotta pick the tight end.
so what you saying, Kincaid and Mayer?
Shit, we going Musgrave. Oh,
Oh,
I might look. If I really need a tight end, it might even be
Laporta.
Shoemaker. Shit, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I like Shoemaker.
I don't like Shoemaker, but it forces me to do it.
Not over Mims, man. And look, we talked about Mims at length, so we don't gotta necessarily
Yeah,
revisit that. It's just like I'm just not super confident in understanding how I'm not super confident in understanding how NFL coaches decide which tight end they're gonna go with, right? Because it's not predictable for us, right? Like if
I'm not super
you
confident in anything an NFL coach do. for the most part.
Well,
They
I
question.
like
I question draft picks. I question moves. A lot of. Oh man, I
no
spent
for
all day
sure,
on that.
for sure. But I like to think that they think they're playing the best player, right? And if all things being constant or everything being held equal, we're not talking about nothing off the field, no injuries, nothing. These are two players. One player is more talented than the other player. I like to think that they think that they're playing the more talented player. I don't think that they necessarily feel that with tight ends. I don't think that they decide to play the most talented player because there's no reason why Mike Gesicki isn't on the field, right? They're trying to like play the best blocker because that doesn't tell the defense that we're going to run or pass, right? When it's just like I don't, it's just hard for me to predict, right? So I think Dalton Kincaid has a higher bust potential, and draft capital has never meant anything
Oh
for
yeah,
tight ends.
as long as they're drafted, that's it. Like I said, when it comes to tight ends, it's a whole different formula. You know, it's just like
So if you ask me, Jay, you going to pick a first round tight end or a second round wide receiver? I'm gonna pick the second round wide receiver, especially if it's somebody I
I can't
believe
do
in.
it at a 2 point PPR for tight ends. I just can't do it. It's just you know.
Even then, right? Because look, I'm in a league like that, right? So, and there's another player I want to talk about who I draft even before Mims, who I'm super high on, and we'll
Matter
get
of
to that in a
fact,
second.
I'm in a draft right now, and I just drafted Luke Musgrave at the 3-2.
You gotta stop
It's
doing
a
that
tight
shit.
end premium. No, it's a two tight end league. So you gotta
You
love that. Great value. Let's go.
you gotta stop doing that. You're gonna hurt yourself. It's not good for you. It's like a drug. You a musgrave. All right. So okay, cool. So Kelsey is the number two player here, right? Literally a non-quarterback, number two in scoring, right behind Justin Jefferson, and that type of scoring. And then the next tight end is Andrews, and he had a terrible season for his standards.
He did.
And he's number 20 of all scorers in that format. And then it's Hawkinson at 28, then Waller at 35, Kittle 37. I'm getting to the point here. Pitts at 38. That's six, right? No four, no five. Sorry. So that's five of them that came in the top 40. Now I don't see Kincaid outperforming any of those tight ends.
Well, it don't matter if he's outperforming tight end. It matters if he's gonna outperform someone that's probably gonna put up wide receiver 3 numbers. That's the question.
Yeah, and when I get down to it,
Because Mims is not coming in blazing. I don't see him coming
okay,
in first season blazing. And at the end of the day,
okay,
he's still gonna be the number 2 best wide receiver on his team.
all right, hold on. Let me go back. Let me stop looking at projections. Let me go back. Look at what actually happened. Give me a second. Okay, so wide receiver 36 was Josh Palmer, and he had 186 points. Now let's go to the tight end that had 180 something points. Jawan Johnson had 185
And
points,
he barely did shit.
and he was tight end 15.
Do I think he could beat Jawan Johnson? Maybe.
You-
Good chance. Good chance of
Yeah, yeah,
it.
yeah,
You see what I'm getting?
yeah. You might have stole me on him too.
I'm not a PJ fan. I'm just saying when we get to a 2 point PBR, I win a lot of these leagues because people throw tight ends to the wayside. I end up winning a
Hmm.
lot of these leagues because of that. I go ahead and monopolize the tight ends, and now you're not getting them from me unless
Hmm.
you go pay you because you're not gonna want to pay the price that I'm have you pay. And guess what? Now I'm gonna kick your ass in the points department, and you can't match me because you ain't got the tight ends to do it. So
right. But the thing is, brother, is the rookie tight ends. It's an enigma. I don't want nothing to do with it. There's no rookie tight ends that can come through like that. The only ones we saw them recently was Kyle Pitts.
and it's
So I
not
just
like he's
don't see
killing
it.
it because people keep drafting him higher than what he's producing. It
Yeah, and they
was no
should.
reason last year people was drafting him over um Andrews, and that was crazy.
No, yeah, that's ridiculous.
People was drafting him over Andrews, and I'm like, okay, even if you drafted him on tight end 3, you're trying to project him. Stop it.
Yeah,
It's
no,
not hard to draft tight ends. It's not. You don't
it's
have to
not.
project tight ends. Just draft them what they did last year. It's not hard. It's not hard. They don't change much. Unless they
So
get
look,
injured or something, they don't change much. It's not
his
hard.
rookie year, he was going a tight end 3.
4. I think he was going 4 in his
I,
rookie year. It's
yeah, I
ridiculous.
saw a couple leagues where he was tight end 3. He was right after Mark
It's ridiculous.
Andrews.
Like I've
Didn't make
seen
a ton of sense to me.
this, and as good as he is as a prospect, is like I've been on the other end because I'm like, y'all are Kyle Pitts crazy. I done seen the year he came out, I watched him go 1-on-1 in leagues. 1-on-1? Are you fucking crazy? You
Wait,
drafted him
and
over
hold
Trevor
on, hold on.
Lawrence,
In tight
Justin
end dynasty
Fields.
premiums.
I don't give a damn
Wait,
if tight end premium or not. You drafted him over the best prospect since Andrew Luck. What the fuck are you doing?
yeah,
What the fuck are you doing?
you probably shouldn't do that. I could understand why you would do it over Justin Fields though. He went to the
Nah,
Bears, like 4 quarterbacks that went
Justin
ahead of him.
Fields have been the second best prospect right under Trevor Lawrence
Trevor
for
Lawrence.
years.
You
For
sound like
years.
me. You sound like me. You sound like me. I say the same thing. The NFL overthinks shit sometimes, and they can have all these resources and access to all this information. I think they just outthink themselves. This shit is simple, bro. Like, we seen Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence was the best quarterback in his class since he was like 14. Justin Fields has been the second best quarterback in the class since he was like 14. And I don't really, and they do it at high levels. They play for in playoffs, national championships. They show you everything you want to see. They have the size, speed, athleticism, the accuracy, the arm strength, the arm talent, and it's just like I'm gonna go with Mac Jones. What?
Hold up. Mac Jones
Trey
didn't go.
Lance?
He didn't go before him, huh? He
No,
didn't go
no, he
before him.
didn't. I don't think so. My bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, you
There's a
insert
lot of teams that passed up
any
on
quarterback.
Fields.
Yeah, like
It,
insert any
yeah,
quarterback
I
that
didn't
went in that.
understand the trade, even though I thought Trey Lance was going to be special. And I still think if he wouldn't have got hurt, he would have had a special season. It's like
No,
it
I don't
kills
believe
me.
you thought that. I don't
It,
believe you thought that.
yeah, I
I
did.
thought that you thought he was gonna be good for fantasy football because there's no
Well,
way
that's
you
what I
could have.
mean. I'm just
Okay,
special for fantasy football. I mean,
okay.
my
I
I'm
don't
not talking about real football here. Even though I think he had a better
because I know
chance.
how you feel about players that come from the Dakota schools.
He had a better chance to win a Super Bowl than that other boy. I would have bet more on him than that 7th-round pick, Mr. Irrelevant. I don't care how good he was playing. It's the Shanahan system. All the quarterbacks gonna play good in that system. But
All the quarterbacks are going to be the floors
they're
are
gonna
going to
be
be hitting
relevant.
well.
They're
The
gonna they're
the
gonna be
the, f-
fine.
the floors are going to be hitting
What you
well.
can watch you find out. People gonna be Sam Donald is gonna be look like the motherfucking. He gonna look like the
He's gonna look
motherfucking
like who he
man.
was drafted to be. He's gonna look like who he was drafted to be if he get a chance. That's why I'm trying to get Sam Darnold in every league. Every league I'm trying to get him. But
Right.
people here, they know. They know the
But
vibes.
that's
They're
what's
not
like
giving
every
it to me.
time I go for a certain player, people like they be wanting to charge me the craziest prices. I'm like,
Because they
son,
think you know so.
right, son. I mean, why I got to give you a second for Sam Darnold? Come on, man. Take this
Yeah,
third and a
right.
player. Take this.
Look, I gave you another third. I gave you 2/3. But imagine if the San Francisco 49ers drafted Justin Fields, where they would be right now. There was no reason to do that. Imagine if the Jets. There was no reason at all.
Well, you know what? If it was just, I just don't know. I don't believe in that organization. I just don't know if he'd be in a better situation. I just don't know. They so antsy. It, I, it might have pulled him before he even, blocked them. It just people do stupid stuff, man.
Look, as a New York fan, there's no one that understands that take more than me. But I still would rather them shoot their shot with
Because
a
I
guy
didn't
like
think
Hill
O'Boy was
versus Zach
bad.
Wilson.
I'm not saying how he played. I thought he would have been a fine NFL quarterback. I don't know
Wilson,
how it went so bad on Wilson. I don't, I didn't know how it went so bad. I was like,
he lost the locker room. So I don't know if you saw it, but it was all over here in the New York media. He was like, I think the defense held the opposition to like three
I
points,
do
10 points,
remember that.
something crazy like that. But this asshole kept like giving away the ball and making bad decisions. And
And he
the
didn't take
reporter asked him,
responsibility. He didn't
that's
take
it. The
responsibility.
reporter asked him, it's like, hey, your defense, they performed well. They gave up this many points. With your performance, do you feel like you let them down? You're just like, no. Why would I feel that way? You know, and do you feel like you owe it to your defense or something like that? He was just like, no. And ever since then, like you start seeing tweets from the players, like, and once that start happening, once you lose the locker room, it's hard to get it back, man. It's hard to get it back because it takes a lot of humility. That's hard for a number two overall pick to have. And but once they bench you and you start getting seeing people with your job, and then after that they bring in a Hall of Famer to kind of escort your ass out. You're gonna have to shape up. So I agree with you to the extent that I think what you're really saying is, or not what you're saying, but I think what I'm taking away from it is that his career isn't over.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's
He'll
not
get a
over. Like
chance again. He'll get a
this
chance.
could be the perfect thing for him, right? Like you get a slice of humble pie, and if you got the right mindset, you turn it up, you go as hard as you ever could, and then learn everything you can from Aaron Rodgers and learn how he operates. And well, maybe not all of Aaron Rodgers'
I'm gonna
ways, but
say,
you just
I was like, that ain't the perfect person to learn from, really.
right,
and
right.
and he probably ain't trying to be a mentor either. It's like,
No, I don't think so. I don't like him at all, and there's very few people
I
that
don't like
can
the
say
person of Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, and I
right.
heard
It's very
I heard you own a download too. So I don't know. That's what I
knock
hear.
yourself out. Like
That's what I hear. Yeah.
that's hilarious. I mean, live his life, whatever, man. That's one of the few people that I don't know that I don't like. There's very few people that I don't know that I don't
He's
like,
an
and he's one of
asshole.
them.
That's not even a question. He's an
And let
asshole.
me tell you this super short story. I forget who the receiver was. It might
I
have
know
been
who you're
Jeff.
talking about because the Pie Father always bring it up all the time. It was man, I forgot it. He
Janice.
he was supposed to be good, and Aaron Rodgers just didn't like him, and it ended his career.
It might have been Jeff Janice,
Yes,
but
that's him. That's him.
yeah. But there's another guy. I don't know if he was a rookie or not, but he's long story less long. This the receiver's supposed to run a particular route, and Aaron Rodgers tells him in the huddle or whenever he tells him, he's like, "No, don't run that, run this." So he runs the route. Aaron Rodgers throws a pick, and the coach is breaking on the receiver, and the receiver is like, "I thought I was supposed to run that route." And Aaron Rodgers could have easily interrupted and been like, "No, I told him to run that. I was trying to see something." But he didn't. He just let the receiver get chewed out by the coach. And I think the guy was cut. And it was just like, come on, dog. Like,
And
you're
I
Aaron Rodgers,
heard
bro.
ever since then, that's why people be confused on what to do. Should they run the route he
Should I
do,
listen to
or
Aaron Rodgers or the
like
coach?
you not gonna go to bat for me?
Right. And I could see like if you were Brock Purdy, I could not saying this right, but I could understand why you would be quiet in that situation. Right, you're a seventh round draft pick. Like,
Oh
there's
yeah,
two guys they got ahead of you. Like, whatever. You just trying to stay on the team. Feed your family or feed yourself if you don't have a family. Aaron Rodgers at the time, MVP, Super Bowl champ. Like, come on, dog. You could have easily been like, I told him right now, I'm trying to see something. And that would have been the end of it. No one would have got yelled at or nothing. But you just started, I don't know, it's dudes like that where it's like, I can understand why that team is not as successful as they should have been with a quarterback that had the talent Aaron Rodgers had, is because like those Super Bowl winning teams, the teams that like achieve the highest level of success, like they're a lot of times they're a true team and they believe in each other, and especially their leaders. They will like put their body in harm's way. They'll do everything that they can for each other. But I'm not gonna do that for a quarterback I can't fuck with.
And that's
And it's
probably
not
why
the
he want all them certain guys that's old and dusty to come down there with him to the chest. Like these guys way past their prime, and he trying to get all of them signed over there. Like, what are you
I can't
doing?
stand it. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. And as long as like they don't play, I don't care. Like if Aaron Rodgers wants his little posse with him, that's gonna help him play better. Cool. But as long as they're not making Randall Cobb play over fucking Corey Davis, not to say that any like
Oh
Corey
no,
Davis is
Corey Davis
elite
out of
or
there, bro. Corey Davis
but
probably ain't gonna see the light. They probably trade that man or release
he
him or
better.
something. They got too many
It's
wide
probably,
receivers on the roster.
they do just like
I can't
the
believe they
Texans.
haven't traded or released Denzel Mims. I thought I like Denzel Mims.
I
I
love
thought he was
Denzel
gonna get
Mims.
released. Go do something.
Something. I love Denzel Mims, and I think like the Jets have an abusive relationship with Denzel Mims. It's like I don't like you, so I beat on you, but I like you enough that I want you to leave. Like they have an abusive relationship with Denzel Mims. It just doesn't make sense to me. It's like they could trade him, they can cut him, they can do whatever they want, but they just choose not to play him. And I don't understand why you would play fucking what's the guy named Jeff Wilson, I think his name is, like one of these like random ass receivers who just like, I don't know if Denzel Mims is better than him, but you spent the second round pick on him. At least let him play. Like at least prove to the fans that Denzel Mims isn't as good as we think he is. Look what just happened. You don't even give us that. So this doesn't make sense.
But it's going on 2 hours, man. I ain't gonna keep you any longer, man. It was good talking to you. Tell the people where they can find you at on social media.
I don't want people finding me, man, because I
You
get
be
a
out in the
little.
Twitter streets too much to be talking about. You don't want people finding you.
Right, that's my little safe space. You know, people don't know it's really me. I'm not using my real name and stuff over there. Maybe I should do some rebranding. I'll be talking crazy on Twitter sometimes. Yeah,
I mean, since we friends, I always see when you
right,
post or when you comment on posts that's not dealing with fantasy football.
right,
And since I know they show that, I can't comment on any post of any females I see because I be like, oh, this I ain't gonna like that. I just gotta like it in my heart. Just gotta like it in my heart. Cause I'm
right,
like, oh, she's showing so much. Like it in my heart. Can't I can't comment on that. That was a nice picture. Cause
right. I like it in my heart is hilarious. I need to adopt that. But I don't really get busy on the likes either. What I'll do is like I'll comment on somebody else commenting on it.
mm,
Right. So I'm a little aware of it, but at the end of the day, like I'll be talking to people like they in front of me, and like we having a conversation right now. But the thing is, they get real disrespectful real quick, and then like I want to match the energy. Like the petty in me wants to match the energy, and that's when it goes off the rails.
so I
So
got caught up in I kind of got caught up in a Twitter scandal, a few weeks ago. And the sad thing about it, I didn't even know that I had this dude on my fantasy team. Like I had him on my C2C team. I didn't even know
uh-huh.
because I didn't recognize his name. He's somebody I probably just pulled. He was scoring fantasy points. I just put him on the team. But So this would happen because I like to give my little takes and say how I feel about about players on Twitter. So
Hmm.
this one dude shared this tweet. I went and looked at my notes of the player and I was like, I gave my spiel. This dude ran this 40 and he's a 0-star recruit and like it's just not gonna happen.
Hmm.
So I went looking for other people that shared the tweet and I made a mistake and put that same energy on the original tweet, which happened to be the guy tweet. And when I say I had so many people coming at me,
You
bruh.
can't be
I
tweeting
said, God,
players, man.
bruh, well, every
You can't be
day.
tweeting players.
I had people jump in my inbox coming for me. I'm like, God dang. I said I got on the wrong person. Like I didn't mean like I was commenting under someone else's comment.
Right, right,
I wasn't going for the play. Like I just was responding to a comment and
right.
like I was like, damn, I forgot this shit don't work like Facebook.
Nah,
Like
yeah.
Facebook, you can respond on the comment and people understand that. You respond under someone comment on a tweet, it's like you talk to that person, the
Right.
notification they get.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got blazed for that. Like, you know.
I got smoked too. I got drugged too. I think remember when LaShawn McCoy had he gave his opinion on Eric Bieniemy as an offensive coordinator.
Oh
He
no, I
took
don't
some.
remember that. I don't think.
Yeah, so he got on he it was some show on ESPN and he was basically and they had brought him on as a guest speaker um when Eric Bieniemy was not getting head coaching jobs. And he was like, well, this is why he's not ready to be a head coach. And I'm not going to say all the different stuff that he said, but a lot of people was just like, oh, LaShawn's mad because Eric Bieniemy benched him after he fumbled. And I'm like, maybe that's true. Maybe it's not. But
Two
everything
things can be
LaShawn
true.
said, right. Everything LaShawn said was true. And I said it under LaShawn tweet. And it's just something about players, the folks we're actually talking about, that their tweets draw so much attention. Like if me and you just rapping on Twitter and we go back and forth, maybe one or two people chime in,
Well, I found
right?
out that the hard way because this was a college player that didn't get drafted that got an invite to a rookie camp. He was a nobody. And when I
Right.
say so many people got on me, and guess what? Later on, like a week later, when he did get that invite, I felt like he was talking to me in the tweet he posted. Like, yeah, despite people opinion, I still blessed with this opportunity. I'm like, God damn it, Now I'm kind of
Wait, you
hoping
gotta
he
tell me who the
failed
player
on a
is
low
now.
key so I could be right, but I don't want him to because I want everybody to succeed. It's like I don't
But
it's tug
this
of
is
war.
professional sports, man. Everybody is a professional athlete, so everybody can't win. Everybody can't make the team. Everybody can't be great. It is because if everybody's great, then what's great? Right? Like some people, I gotta know who the player is.
I remember this, and I said, man, ran like this, and somebody was like, the comment was like, Jerry Rice ran a
Oh my God! So
four
he's Jerry Rice
seven
now.
oh whatever he ran, and I was like, bruh, if you have to bring up what a player did 30 years ago, you already lost the argument.
First of all, as soon
Like,
as you
and,
start
and one,
comparing Hall
you
of
comparing them
Famers,
to the GOAT. So that's why I start
yeah,
calling from now on. I start saying, nah, he gonna be all right. He the GOAT. I
right,
said, every time somebody told me something now, I was like, nah, I believe he's gonna make it because he's the GOAT.
right. As soon as you start comparing dudes to like Hall of Famers, I start. I'm just like, ugh, I just stop listening. Like dudes, or when you constantly compare folks to outliers, like Josh Allen is an outlier. The minute you compare somebody to Josh Allen, I just stop listening at that point. And Josh Allen made the league. No, it doesn't happen like that. It's like you got to give me more. You got to give me more. I feel like it's it's about that time for you, brother. I don't want to keep you in the office, keep you in your little cute button up or whatever. Get you some time to relax.
Yeah, because when I told my girl, I was like, yeah, blah blah, yeah, this to make sure you help, my son with his homework, and he was like, how long you gonna be there? I like,
That's a good
I
question.
don't know. I remember one
Exactly.
time I got on.